Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Chris and Romain of the group Sabertooth Swing. They opened up about their latest 2020 CD, Songs of Future Past. The seeds for this CD were planted after a show a couple years ago when the New Orleans band found themselves playing a dance in a local juke joint. Man, it's a great story. Enjoy.
I really dig the name of your band and really enjoy the album. So thank you for taking a minute to talk with Neon Jazz today. I appreciate it. Talk to me a little bit about Songs of the Future Past. Brand new album. Give me an idea of just first and foremost what it's like to release one during a pandemic.
It's interesting, you know. I mean, obviously the music was recorded. What do we say, BC?
Yeah.
Before Corona. It's interesting. I mean, the band, you know, it's beautiful to be able to then, you know, now is a great time for working in the studio, for mixing and producing tracks that we've previously recorded, to work on creative ideas. And, you know, the band has been rolling. We, you know, we're doing weekly live streams near the beginning of the pandemic. And we have found ways to do socially distanced porch concerts in New Orleans. And in fact, that's our, I guess, next engagement at this time. So, you know, whatever. We're in a new world. We're in a new paradigm. And you can either get in arguments on Facebook about it, or you can create some art and push some art and try means to continue making the music, which, you know, I'm a big fan of Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones will say, you know, we need water and we need music. It's for real, you know. That's not going to be diminished through this.
So, Sabertooth Swing, talk to me a little bit about how you guys came together, and it's a great name for a band.
Thank you. I can talk about that. So it started about 3 years ago, and to me, the beginning of it was that we have a very vibrant dance scene here that goes along with a lot of very fun live gigs, and I really wanted to put together a group of musicians to play for those dancers. And initially my idea was to, you know, the basic of that music is a repertoire that everybody knows and comes here to learn and perform. And so it's very fun to like mix and match different musicians and create different ensembles for each performance. So that's kind of the way it started. And one of the jokes around that was that we initially thought we would be taking a different name for each gig, so we could never be tracked or whatever. So we run with some very corny names, you know, I don't know, the Mardi Gras Hoppers or the Monkey Toast Jazz Orchestra. I forgot all that. But anyway,
we won't mention them here, actually.
No. It was some corny jokes that were not supposed to be public by any means. But and Sabertooth Swing was one of them. I don't know, we thought it was a catchy name and we just used it. But then around, I think the summer of 2017, that was our first gig with Chris, I remember. And like that one gig was probably like about 3 years ago, almost to the day. It was so fun. And like there was something musically that I thought was clicking. And I decided from this point on that we should try to focus on having the same ensemble and working a repertoire together and making it like an actual band.
When I joined, we were actually called Sabertooth Swingers.
That's right.
We have so many, you know, adult clubs that come through New Orleans. I didn't feel it was good for our marketing to keep the on the end of Sabertooth Swing.
Yeah, unless you guys wanted to adopt a different vibe and have only red lights up behind you, yeah, that's probably a good idea, you know.
Yeah, it's not, you know, it wasn't what we were going for, so we just proved off.
Yeah, I hear you. So, you know, jazz is about having a conversation. What's it about you all as a group that makes you guys have such a good conversation that translates well to a live crowd and on albums?
I think it's an interesting selection of people. You know, it's cast from all over. We have our singer and trumpet players from Pennsylvania and grew up in a tradition of music up there. Our bass player is much older than the rest of the band. And, he spent time in the Austin scene in Texas before moving here. We have a saxophone player who hails from Colorado and spent time in jazz school out there. I myself was born in Canada and relocated here to play this music. And Romain is from France. So I guess that's everyone, yeah?
Rob's drummer.
Sorry, Rob.
Ohio, right?
Yeah, Rob's from Ohio. And, it's different. It was cats who busk out on Royal Street, and it was cats who gig with the old-time Fats Domino cats. And, it's kind of a different collection of scenes in the band, I would say, and experiences.
Yeah, another thing that to me is very important is that there's a certain degree of freeness, in a sense that we do not try to mimic our music after anything special. It's kind of everybody brings something that they like, and nobody really gives guideline about how we're supposed to sound together. And Dan, a singer, loves songwriting. That's storytelling in his thing. So he plays the trumpet and plays the traditional jazz music, but also he's a big fan of all these storytelling songs that are not necessarily usual in that repertoire. And the beauty of being in New Orleans is we have a lot of gigs. So there's a lot of things that we can figure out when we play for a crowd and when it's actually fun. And so we also feed from the energy. We've done a lot of gigs for dancers, and the dancers, they dance for us. And so we know we play well, not because the music is extremely technical or a certain way, it's because we also see the reaction from the crowd who's participating into the performance by the dancing as well.
We're going to get past COVID-19, and when we do and we get back to live music, what do you hope both the audience and the fans, and the musicians realize about this time away from live music?
I go back to kind of my first statement of we need it. And to me, that's the interesting thing is the live, there's all these things happening, live stream, virtual concerts, people teaching lessons online, people doing dance lessons online. There are all these things. And whatever, we can criticize, it's hard to do that over the internet, or Facebook compresses the audio, or whatever the scenario is. But what have we learned from this? We've learned that human beings need this. So, the medium is the message, and it doesn't matter what the medium is. It's going to keep happening. So yes, just as you are, we're looking forward to playing at a club with a bunch of people inside there, because there's a certain interaction and a vibe that, that to me is the biggest loss with a live stream or something, is the interaction between the artist and the crowd, which is now limited to sending, sort of typing messages in the text bubble, But so we're looking forward to getting back at it. We're looking forward to maybe, we probably would have been in Europe at this moment if it wasn't for the situation. So hopefully getting over to Spain and getting over to places where we can share the music.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, hey, thank you for opening up about the new album, The Strange New World, and how you guys came together. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Thanks for talking with us.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest cats in New Orleans, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Chris and Romain for their time, cool, and energy. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.